Lyndon.
Let's go.
Bro, the fact that Lyndon's eyeing her down as well, like... Oh.
Our ballistics tests indicate that the point of impact between the bullet and the victim was approximately 106 centimeters from the ground.
106.
So Kyle was on his knees when he got shot.
So random. Why would he be on his knees? Unless he was begging someone. Everyone else was shot in different ways. For example, the husband was shot in the bed, just boom. The wife tried to crawl away. She was shot in the back of the head, I think, from recollection. The little girl was shot in the head. Yeah, so like he's the one that's been shot in such a weird way. I think my main theory, one of my biggest theories at least, was that the boy was supposed to go on that trip. He didn't, and he stumbled across something when he got back. I don't know, I keep thinking that the husband potentially had an affair. Like, the main lady kept saying, I've known Philip, or, sorry, I knew Mr. Blah Blah for 20 years. It was just so weird that how she was dancing with that one student of hers. Like, is that just me that got that vibe? Anyway, I got a lot of weird vibes about her.
Scientifically speaking, Doc, did he off himself or did someone else do it?
Our ballistic tests were not able to positively determine the distance from which the gun was fired, so...
Oh my gosh almighty, and she's thinking about who was on their knees before, you know? Skinner. That's all that's going through her brain. Like I said, how on earth could you run a case?
It's a very scientifically unique situation here, Detective.
Bethany showed up at my house last night looking for her dad. I told her I didn't know where he was, but she didn't believe me. She knows that I'm lying. She's not going to give up.
Bro, this better not turn into like some...
Calm down.
We need to do something sort of thing.
We're good. Lyndon.
She literally is losing control. Damn, I can't believe the show is getting me to the point where I'm thinking about what she may contemplate doing to protect whatever she wants to protect. Even though I love these characters and I trust them, and that's what I keep saying to myself, it's not gonna happen. There's no way. I'm not falling for it. And then there's this guy. Let's get back to the actual case at hand. I'm not convinced that he didn't have something to do with it. Of course he was shot in the head, and of course we're supposed to be looking at him as a victim, but for all we know, he could have had some part to play in it. And just remember, the parents were killed first. Why?
We are a family.
Why do
As a family, we will all...
He's gonna get bullied to shreds.
Any stories about Cadet Stansberry's involvement in this incident have no merit.
Spot on. Something about him just... I don't know what it is, but I look at his character and I think, I feel bad for the guy, but then I also look at him and go, I don't know, like, something doesn't feel right.
Anyone who defies my orders will be dealt with in the most severe fashion.
Someone else at the school's gonna know something, right? Like, I feel like it's kind of obvious. Someone's got to know something from the school. Could he have been bullied so badly beforehand that something drew him over the edge? It could have just been that he went to shoot himself and then someone tried to stop him. But then you think to yourself, like, could he be the killer and wanting to be suicidal? Or is it just a matter of he turned up, found something he didn't want to find? They're killed so dramatically.
You're even more of a fucking freak now.
Oh, what an idiot.
It's okay, buddy. Amnesia's a bitch. Heard your little sis took it right in the face, though.
You're gonna get yourself slapped.
Too bad. She was gonna be one fine piece of pussy one day.
What an idiot. He's not going to have anything to do with it, he's just a dick.
They're coming from the Stansbury house.
Sir, do you have an address?
6 or 7 gunshots heard by
Emmett Deschler, neighbor. He sounds so calm, like he's ordering takeout instead of calling in a shooting.
Yeah, that is really weird. What the hell? Someone's going to come and ask him where her dad is. And he's going to recognise the ring.
I believe that pain and suffering is true art. A physical replication, regardless of medium.
What did you just say?
Is that right?
What the hell?
On the night of the murders.
I find it crazy how, like, from progression from season 1 through 4, little things like that in my brain immediately goes, so this guy's got a weird thing about pain and suffering being true art. Maybe he's got something to do with, like, teaching the little boy a lesson. Maybe he killed his whole family and... I don't know, waited for him to come home, then he went to kill himself and he stopped them. I don't know, like, do you see where I'm coming from when I say, like, I do not know what to think and my brain just is haywire.
I was sitting right here looking out the window and I was startled by half a dozen or so loud bangs.
For someone who was startled, you sounded very calm on the phone.
Do that a lot? Just sit there and stare out at nothing 5 o'clock in the morning?
It's not nothing.
Oh, that's right. It was 5 a.m. as well. Like, what the hell?
It's beautiful.
You told the 911 operator that the shots were coming from the Stansbury house. How could you be so sure?
Theirs was the only light on.
In your statement to the
What?
officers, you never mentioned the lights were on in the house.
They were on in the Stansbury's beach house.
I never come out
Oh,
here.
is that the little thing
Mrs.
down the
Stansbury
bottom?
is very specific.
Who needs to do a sweep?
Cursory. Nothing to write home about.
Is it Holder just seem kind of detached because of what's going on in his life? Like he
You
wants the
think-
case sort of done and dusted, or?
Who Radley over there is one sunny day away from cutting his ear off.
Oh, here we go. Someone was sleeping here. Whoa.
Boom, boom.
It's got to be something to do with the dad, eh? Like, why do I feel like it's got something to do with the dad? Because,
Welcome back, Cadet.
Thank you, ma'am.
There were no complications with your release from the hospital?
or just the mum, because I think it's because I haven't seen those characters. Like, I'm struggling to like pinpoint who I would sort of theorize about. So we had lingerie and the stuff in that beach house, that house thing, and the lights were on. It never messed up. It's always as is, which means it's not used. Because he could have been down there, heard the shots, gone up, found them.
Do you remember the night of the murders?
No.
Nothing.
I spent every moment in the hospital trying to.
I don't remember
I say it's
anything.
better if I don't.
You could be right.
Could be right.
The Academy has made arrangements for funeral services to take place on Wednesday. You'll return to the barracks. Don't make me regret my decision.
I won't, ma'am.
Why is everyone so hard to read?
These styles don't match. I mean, one's a little country, one's a little rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. What the... Oh gosh, whose house is it going to be looking at? Whoa.
Is someone in the house, Mr. Deschler?
Phoebe and I, we had a special relationship.
What the... I'm so confused.
Shut up! I know my rights, and you can't do something.
Did you see Holder? He's like, shut the...
Holder!
She's mine, not yours, she's mine!
What the... Oh my... It must have all the like on his back. Like, look at his back. Like, it's covered in... Oh, look at the blood.
Oh, shit! Everyone look! Carrie got her period.
Oh, shit!
This little baby's gonna cry.
That's enough! What, think that's funny? Huh?
Who's this guy?
Finish up your business and get
Isn't
out
this the guy that was showing them the room?
Maintain the pressure, all right? Clean yourself up. I'll let the infirmary know you're on your way.
So
As
another
I
character
said,
then,
I'm more than happy
okay.
to assist in your investigation.
Do you know if anyone was staying in the beach house? Friend or guest of the family, maybe?
No, ma'am.
I don't know why, but my brain is just constantly going to her. Constantly.
We found these pictures in your sister's bedroom.
Why is she so
Do you know the
defensive,
man who
eh?
lives across the lake from your house?
I think that's enough, detectives.
Just getting some answers here.
And you've got them, so we're done here.
Why?
This, didn't you?
Cadet, you're dismissed.
No.
I saw Phoebe one night. She was standing in front of her window like that, and I told her that anybody could see inside of her room, but it was like she wanted to be seen. After I told on her, she cut the piano wires, and they didn't even get mad at her for that.
Piano's yours.
Really? Maybe something happened to him and he went to go to his parents to say something and then they didn't believe him again. And maybe it just made him snap.
I'm feeling a little sick.
Cadet Stansbury needs to get some rest. We're done here.
Bro, she's so pushy, eh?
Cadet, you're dismissed. He didn't do it. Do you believe that now?
Unless someone's trying to get them to believe that. That's the thing, like, it's like... Maybe he did. Maybe he was enraged. Maybe he was fuming. Maybe he did something he regretted. Who would he call?
Bethany,
How's it going? You okay?
Detective Brennick, I can't find my dad anywhere.
How long has it been since you've seen your dad?
2 weeks. He's with that.
He's gonna put the pieces together, isn't he?
I'll make a couple calls, see what I can do.
See? Ring. God's sakes. But is it one of those situations where he works out the entire case again, goes to Holder and Lyndon, and then just keeps it quiet? Could it be like that? I mean, we'd hope so, but goodness knows, eh?
The kid's still our best suspect.
Why is Holder
He could
so...
be playing us.
I mean, I kind of agree with that in a sense. Like, maybe
Just saying.
it's worth keeping in mind.
Convenient. He didn't tell us about his fucked up family.
No one talks about family secrets, and you know it.
They'll still be dead tomorrow, London.
Why would she be posing like that? And, like, it's so random, eh? With her curtains open, like the boy said. Unless she was posing for someone. Ruddock's onto it. That's what stresses me out. Like, what on earth is Lyndon gonna do? Like, the only thing I can think of that they can do is just wait for Ruddock to figure it out. But then who took the bullets? I can understand. This episode's called Unraveling for a reason, you know? You just... Whoa! She started losing control.
From now on, it's raw milk, fresh greens. You're gonna start craving things that are white.
Like you?
Better fucking believe it.
Hey, why don't you get some of the Captain Crunch that you like?
No, I'm only eating what you're eating.
Oh, I fucking love... I love Holder. He's got to be one of my favourite TV show characters. You just saw with him and Jack, hey, like... Oh, coincidence, Jack. I couldn't have more faith in the guy. He's gonna get scared though, man. I would be terrified. Someone's tasing a man.
Kyle, please help me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
What are you doing? Whoa. Apologize to Kid at Stansbury. Why don't you get the fuck out of my face?
No! I can't!
Jesus Christ!
Easy, easy! Easy!
Oh my goodness! So who the hell, what has that guy got to do with all this, man? Brand new weapon.
Hot off the press. Lab pulled a print from my bag. Our mystery lady is one.
Did she actually get rid of the other gun though?
She was at the hospital.
Got Layton's not only in the beach house, but all over the main house. She got around. Humans are following up on her last known address, but
She was at the hospital, eh? It's so random. If I'm honest with you, this episode's... I've just lost my theories. I don't know what to think anymore.
DA dropped charges shortly thereafter, citing lack of cooperation from the victim, Philip Stansbury.
So she beat
she
up
assaulted him, and he let her off scot-free.
I just feel like maybe he found out something about his dad. Or something along that train of thought, you know?
Why are you being cool with me now? You never were before. Because that Psycho Lincoln deserves it.
What happens to one of you happens to all of you. One of you disobeys my orders, all of you disobey my orders. Didn't have those bruises on your hand yesterday morning, Cadet.
I lost control of my rifle during drills, ma'am.
That was an encouragement. Get it together, you pieces of shit. We're gonna do it until we get it right.
Because he was... It's like he was almost sent away to the school, eh? He was sent away from his family. Why didn't he go on that camp? Why did he not go? And how did he end up back home? Why did he end up back home?
You talked to some cops? Male-female duo?
I snitched the 5-0 and left forever.
Lady cop. Redhead.
Oh, for God's sake. It doesn't help that Lyndon is literally the most identifiable cop on the force.
You guys still handing out scratch to snitches?
Possible. Gotta get me something good.
Oh gosh.
They did real good today.
I like
Proud
that.
of you.
I'm happy that this guy's sticking out for him.
Really?
No one's hurting one of our own. Understand?
Yes, sir. AJ.
AJ. Well, I'm happy that he's got this, but I'm something about this new
Frank's
guy.
boys, we got some unfriendlies approaching.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about him for now, but...
Ma'am, regulations state you're not permitted in here without an escort.
The other crazy thing is, right, is he is super impressionable. Now, I'm not saying that he genuinely doesn't want to talk to them, but it feels to me like people are showing that they like him, he's then adopting that, and he's sort of like, I don't know, gonna shape his behaviour around the expectations of these people. Like, he is an impressionable guy, but then it still doesn't make sense. Like, why 2 hands on the bloody frickin' thing?
You know this girl? You sure? Take another look.
I don't know who that is.
Ma'am, I must insist you follow regulations or I'll be obligated to call security.
Oh, yep, here comes security.
I know women like you. You think by defying authority you can get the respect you crave from your male colleagues, but that's not the way it works, Detective. Not in here and not with me.
You don't know anything about me.
Come
I've
on.
already repeated myself once, which is once more than I ever do. You come back here again, I will go to the deputy commissioner and file a formal complaint.
All right, let's go, man. Come on.
Yep, move on, Lyndon.
Let's go.
Bro, the fact that Lyndon's eyeing her down as well, like... Oh! I don't know if he knows anything. All I know is that he... Like, it felt to me like he's impressionable. He was reacting based on the reactions of those around him. That doesn't mean he's guilty. It just means he's susceptible, like, you know? Like, that's just what it felt like to me.
I was helping you out, Lyndon. Stop worrying about Bethany.
Why? I would be stressing. I mean, I'm not going to stop worrying about that. Family photo. So, little girl, dead. Father, dead. Wife, dead. Big sister. I think Phoebe is the one that was in all the photos. And notice how the only one that's not, like, sort of holding hands or close to the family is the boy. He's literally just seems, like, detached from the family. Everyone loved the daughter.
Wait.
Everyone loved the girls.
Have you talked to Skinner lately?
Whoa.
No, why?
His daughter's worried. Figured I'd ask you.
Yeah, I don't know. You know how kids can be, though.
His last call was to you.
How do you even answer that?
We were having an affair. I ended his marriage.
Oh, so that explains...
More than that.
Yeah.
And talk to him. Otherwise, stay the fuck out of my face.
Whoa. Lyndon. And if they do find out that he was the one that did it, if they do retrace their footsteps and figure it out, solve the case properly.
I need to see you. I tried at the hospital, but there were cops around.
Last thing I remember, I was here in my room. I was in the hospital.
What the hell, man? And it's not even like it's just one person dead either, it's the whole family.
The police came asking about you. I didn't tell them anything.
Imagine it's her after everything, after all this speculation and theory.
She got what they deserved.
Oh, I don't know, I'm just gonna shut up. I don't know. Can I name an episode I don't know? I don't disbelieve that he will find other things or uncover truths. And she dines alone. Was she a part of the affair? Too many theories too early on, that's the problem with crime dramas. Especially if you react to them and you have lots of big gaps between episodes, you know, it just stacks up. Yeah, like I said, the only other thing I think is if someone killed his whole family because of, like, anger or spite, why would someone try to stop him committing suicide then, unless it was someone that cared about him, unless it wasn't just some random person? And then... This shows... No, I'm not thinking that, you silly... No. This series is giving me vibes that it will end on a conclusive, if not like a note in which means that the show cannot continue. Now, what that means, I don't know. The fact that Jack's not around is stressing me out because obviously Lyndon, she's spiraling definitely. Holder, I think, is currently the anchor, but he's got his own things that he's stressing about, and goodness knows when he has his spiral. I do not believe that it will only be Lyndon that panics and freaks out and this, that, the other. I do believe that Holder will have his moments. Now, what those moments are, I don't know. Like I said in a couple of earlier reactions, I've got this weird feeling like Ruddock will figure it out. They will know what Lyndon did, and she will cover for Holder. That's my feeling. I mean, she'll like maybe go away to prison for a little bit and then get released on like, I don't know. Just like the self-sacrificing sort of vibe to the season is something I'm not able to overlook. Anyway, there was a lot of stuff this episode, guys. It was a really hard one to react to, if I'm completely honest. Not a lot to say during the reaction, which is why I paused it a few times to like just reset my brain. But I do want to say, the difference between shows like The Killing and shows like The Walking Dead in terms of reactions are, The Walking Dead is very easy to react to. Now, it's not a lot about theorizing, it's not a lot about that. It is more about the drama and the relationship building and like being there for the development of the show. What I find with crime dramas is because they are whodunits, really, the question's always the whodunit. So you're in your brain, it's a lot less about the other stuff. They're still there, the other stuff, and it's still an in-depth dynamic show, but it is vastly about the whodunit. So that is what your brain circles around. And that's why I struggle to say stuff, because I'm like, I would just sit there and go, oh, like holding a baby, and then talk a lot about that, and like talk about what could be next and where future seasons go. Obviously, one, the season's ending, but two, yeah, it was just the impending question of who did it? It brings me back, actually, this whole thing about Ruddock finding out, blah, 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 but we'll get this stuff about the previous case out of the way first. This thing about Ruddock finding out, I've just got the sneakiest suspicion that he's the one that took the second bullet out of Lyndon's house. The point is, Ruddock knows, now we're heading down this route of how do we sort of like barricade ourselves from this previous case and then continue to effectively solve the new one. I think maybe that's why I'm struggling to react as well, because there's so much at once. That's a headache in itself, and I do not know, I really don't, beyond the self-sacrificial vibe that I'm getting, I do not know how we solve this case. Moving forward, we found out about a stalkerish photographer across the lake. One of the daughters was into a lot more things that the family perhaps weren't aware of. Maybe the family was aware of, maybe like they just chose to be I don't know, hidden to it, maybe this, maybe that, the other. Why did the father, I'm pretty sure the father would have died first because they were in bed. There's no way that someone shot one of the girls and then the parents just stayed in bed, like, right? Like, what the hell? Why is that? The wife crawled away. Why did the father die first? Because I think from what I understand is the father was killed first, then the mother, then the two girls. And the boy came home. Boom. Then what? Then tries to kill himself with a separate gun, because then it would be a separate gun. Then you would find a gun in a pool of blood. If he came home to all of that, you would find a gun in a pool of blood. And then you've got this new girl. So I think, yeah, my theory is that the boy wasn't home originally. At least not the immediate effect. Maybe he was the one that was way down in the you-know-what's house. Maybe. He hears the shots. Boom, boom, boom. Finds his whole family dead. Tries to kill himself. Maybe he genuinely doesn't know who did it. Maybe he does know who did it. I don't know. The whole point of this amnesia is it's created this black hole in the middle of this case, and it's frustrating because you're like, damn, maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's innocent, maybe he's guilty. His character's got a big question mark over it, which leads you to just sort of put him aside until he remembers things. I don't know whether he will, but if he does remember things, yeah. Maybe he does remember more than he's letting on. It's just a random theory for you. Maybe it was the girl. Maybe it was his girlfriend. Maybe it was someone that knew him. Killed his whole family. Tried to sort of paint it to him like, oh my god, all of his money's now yours. This is yours. That's yours. Blah, 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 blah. We can run off into the sunset together. We can this. The family aren't going to be a problem. Then he tries to kill himself. Then you've got the second hand on the gun because trying to stop him. That's the father's gun. That explains why he's got the father's gun. And it's a separate gun to the one that, yeah. Still doesn't explain where the other gun is, why we never found it, blah, 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 blah. Because the whole, like, yeah, the fact that he survived is, for me, like, if someone wanted him to die, they would have shot him again. Like, they shot everyone else 3 times. Why, if you see where I'm coming from? That's why I'm struggling with this case, because there's so many little details which point in different directions. But, as we know, the people that wrote this are incredibly clever and almost certainly sending me down rabbit holes. Could be a money murder. Could be a jealousy murder. Or it's a love one. It's out of love. Obsessive murder. Those are what the rabbit holes I'm going down. Obviously, it's really, really early to start theorising. But yeah, lots and lots and lots to consider. Especially with Lyndon, especially with Holden, what they're going through right now. All their struggles with the previous case. And then on top of that, we've got all these new theories about this whole new case, which I think is almost going to be completely unrelated. Can we solve it? Can we solve it in time? And can we do it as well as maintaining our status as whatever? we're going to have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there, guys. I've been speaking for a long time. If you enjoyed this video, don't smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. And of course, for the Instagram, Daniel Reed with 2 Ds. And as ever, let me know down below what you thought of the episode, the reaction. I'll get to those as soon as humanly possible. Now, there's a good chance that I've seen the whole series while this comes out. I don't know. I'll let you know in the comments when it gets released, guys. Maybe I'll be able to talk to you guys throughout. Who knows? That'd be kind of cool. I've either seen it all or I haven't. There may be another one coming very, very soon. But this is goodbye from me a long time ago. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.